So Scheffler in the left trap, Scott out to the right.
I think Adam has maybe the easier of the positions. You see the lie right there. It's not much around it. A lot of green. Scotty Scheffler, on the other hand, short-sided in the bunker.
You can just keep your flag down.
This is all about the catch, the contact. Maybe drive it in there pretty low. Let it skid on back there. The ball was back in its stance. Maybe caught it a little bit groove low, and after a perfect tee shot, making a mess of this hole.
Back on the tee, Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, 3-wood for Brooks. Just try and get it to that corner of this dog leg. And that's perfect.
Just has to get it out of the bunker, let it run down that hill. Big swing, short follow through, and really nice.
Looks heavy, that sand now, doesn't it? And a lot of power to get the ball up and out.
You can see the wet crust on it, and then the drier sand underneath post-impact.
Yeah, really setting into this one. Looking at full goal swing for that shorter shot. Important to feel it underneath your feet when you walk in there.
Good tee shot for Robert McIntyre there at the 6th. Puts up a little bit of a slope. We'll get there. Good pacing.
Adam Scott's struggling now for the par here. That was a beautiful shot. Phenomenal touch there.
The old up and down this time for Scott.
Yeah, that'll be. He'll be annoyed, but he'll also just a sigh of relief there, walking off with a 5.
It's an attitude day today, you know, Thomas. And these two guys have fantastic attitudes.
Certainly do. So does Ricky Fowler for birdie. That's 6. Couple rolls short with the right line.
It's looked good so far through 6. Made a nice little move up that board.
This is game number 8. On the tee from England, Danny Willett.
Hails from about, let's call it 2.5 hours inland from here in Sheffield.
Setting it down the left-hand side, going to try to hit a pretty big cut. Have to wait and see how that lie is, but in that right-hand rough.
On the tee from Finland, Sami Välimäki.
Yeah, it was a great finish from him last night, and this is the price he got for keep fighting.
Making his debut, and he's going to see all 4 rounds.
He's heading down the right. There's right rough.
All right, let's go up to the third. Christo Lamprecht found the green in 2.
Tee shot in the left rough. Nice second to the middle of the green, and should be a comfortable par there for Christo.
And a little bit of a smoother start, safe to say. Yesterday he blew it all the way through into the hospitality with driver off the tee, kept pulling driver all day long. It was a wild ride. So Scotty Scheffler did in the end tap in for birdie at 5, so he's back to 1 over par. That's how it looks at Royal Liverpool so far. Adrian Otaegie's been impressive as well. He's at -2, kind of going about his business, flying under the radar. Tristan Lawrence can no longer do that after winning twice in the last 2 seasons, so 4 on the DP World Tour for him. Nikolai Højgaard, -1, qualified last week, making the most of it as well after a good performance at the Renaissance. And as we go down to the par 3.
196 on this par 3 and 23 on, just above a slight little rise in the back of this green. See, happy to say the rain has stopped.
Happy for you.
I'm enjoying it out here now. Just left, might need a bounce to stay up.
Yeah, needed to hang on, and if it gets off that face, it shouldn't be too bad in that bunker. Yeah, sitting up nice. Not really could present many problems after that bunker shot he hit on the last hole, which was an absolute pearl.
This is Andrew Putnam. I think birdied the first, bogey on the second. There you go. Birdie on the third. Now you just don't need to bogey the 4th.
Not that short one with the par 5 coming up.
Yeah, this is a 5-iron for Adam Scott. And which Adam Scott are we going to get here? Trying to use what little wind there is to move this back from left to right.
Trying to peel, and beautiful shot there for Adam. So we got that Adam Scott.
And he left his twin brother behind on the 5th.
His evil twin.
Little Jekyll and Hyde going on over to Brooks Koepka. Just the iron at 5.
A nice 3-wood around the corner there. You trying to take on this hole, or will he get it out there to the right? Oh, bounced over the bunker, and what a great kick and bounce, and got left and long of this pin. That you won't see many shots there.
Eagle putt coming for Koepka. They seem to like it down there. Finds the right section of the fairway, Fowler.
Almost seen the tower on the next hole. Let's see if we move off that.
Looks a nice lie here for Danny Willett on the first in the right-hand rough. And this shouldn't cause too many problems. Just land it on the front edge of the green and bounce it on. And he's turned that over. That's a poor shot.
That nice second shot from Brooks on the 5th. Bounced it around the bunker and up on the putting surface. So good look at eagle here for Brooks. Comes off that shoulder a little bit, you see, just to his right. And then down a little bit of a slope. That bogey at the
Mackey on the first. Just sitting down a little bit, this one. But he's done well with it. That's good from where he was.
So the 10:20 tee time. Oh, Bryson DeChambeau and Xander Schauffele. Both have had 70s and 74s coming into the weekend, I should say, in different orders. And they start the day at +2. 7 shots out of second.
This is game number 9. On the tee from the USA, Bryson DeChambeau.
Took a little while for things to click for DeChambeau in the Open, especially his first 4 appearances. Then something seemed to come together at Royal St George's. He had a top 10 there.
Really haven't seen a whole lot of Bryson this year. At least we haven't in the States. Seemingly playing pretty well. Winner there at Wingfoot 2020 in the U.S. Open. That will be a rough start. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do with that.
On the tee from the USA, Xander Schauffele.
As an Olympic gold medalist, yet to take a major, but he has major game, Thomas.
Oh, definitely. And his day will definitely come as well. There's a big group of players these days in the game of golf that are equal to the task, and Xander's right up there with the best. He's going to get together for 4 rounds in a major championship. He's not scared of it, that's for sure.
Came close in Carnoustie, didn't he? Runner-up to Francesco Molinari. So off they go. We go up to the 6th with Adam Scott.
Nice tee shot there for Adam. Can he take advantage? No, that just was weak.
Koepka finishing off, tapping in for birdie on 5. And it takes him back to level par for the day after the silly bogey on 4. Nice birdie there for him. 1 hole along Scotty Scheffler. And he's really not having his best this week. And another one slides by.
Mackie now at the first, gouged out of that right rough to the front part of the green, and should come away with a nice opening par at the first. See Ricky on the right side of the fairway, pin cut in the back left, so a nice angle right around the corners of the bunkers. Said hold your head. It did. Really, you've seen some approach shots have some spin on it today, so I'll have to adjust to that.
Well, everybody down in New Zealand will be cheering this one on. Oh, Foxy. That's a good putt.
It'll be 3 pars to start for Ryan Fox. Will it be a 4 at the first for Willett?
Right rough to left front bunker, and a good save there for Danny.
Ever the chatty 2016 Masters champion. 196 ahead of Brooks Koepka. The first par 3 of the golf course.
Little tabletop green. Pin cut today in the back little shelf. And nice shot right underneath the hole there for Brooks.
This big par 4 dogleg left to right, 298 to the bunker on the left, 307 bunker right. Wind off the right, trying to cut it up against that wind. This is blocked out to the right, needs to cover that gorse.
Well, he does. Oh, still down to the light. In that thick rough out there.
And Thomas, what would you do if you were in Scotty Scheffler's shoes right now? How would you try to regroup yourself?
I honestly don't think there's much he can do. I think, you know, he's just not putting very well, and you just got to keep trying going, keep trying. You know, I sometimes feel like I change my way of reading putts. You know, call my caddy in and trust him and trust his eyes instead of my own. Just do something completely different, just to get a change of pace in things and see if that helps. I mean, he's in a situation now where he can just give it all, and if it doesn't come together, well, it doesn't really matter that much. You move on to the next tournament.
It's down the first, DeChambeau in the bunker. Schauffele on the fairway, short of it.
Perfect tee shot there for Xander, right up the right-hand side. He can take on this pin right here, front left. Pretty wide miss there for Xander, but safely on the green.
Ricky Fowler, 7th green. Nice roll. Nice roll there from Fowler. You'd have to say at the moment he's playing the best golf on the golf course.
Bryson from one of those fairway bunkers, but it was far enough back that he tried to advance it up there pretty far. It was an aggressive play, and that'll be an awkward little pitch shot around that bunker.
There is the champion golfer of the year from 12 months ago.
How you doing? How are you, Cameron? Sam, how are you? Cameron, how are you? Sam, how are you?
And he is as chilled as he looks.
Yeah, I think they know he was called Cameron.
Yeah, they might know his name. But that's just the kind of guy he is. Would never think so.
Cristo from over the back of the green with a little, beautiful little pitch shot.
There you go, 1 under par for the round. Just like that.
That's what you're going to get with Cristo. You're going to get lefts and rights and ups and downs, and exciting to watch him play. Watched him a lot in college in the United States, and that's exactly how it looks. It's exciting.
The view from up on high of the 6th. Little natural amphitheatre down the right. Loads of viewing spots. So this for back-to-back birdies for Koepka.
A really nice look here. It does go up a little tiny slope. Just as Adam Scott before him in the group before, very similar. Left this same putt a little short like that. Safely in for par though.
What a pairing. We've had a lot of them out there today. I'm not sure I've ever seen an early morning open. The likes of Scott and Scheffler, Koepka, Cantlay, and now Smith and Fitzpatrick.
Okay, here we go.
This is game number 10. On the tee from Australia, the defending champion, Cameron Smith.
He hasn't had a good week so far on the greens, but if he can find some of that magic from last year, he's still in this tournament.
Just in that right rough, and you can see the ball from high above.
On the tee from England, Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Struggled a little bit last week, Fitzpatrick. He didn't have many expectations coming into this, he said early in the week. So he'll be happy to be here.
That one too, all 72 for the 4 rounds between these two players. Right in the heart of the fairway for Fitzpatrick. And they are two of last year's 4 major champions playing alongside each other. And what a final round 64 it was in the 150th edition for Cam Smith 12 months ago.
Yeah, I felt really good going into the week. It was the first time I'd seen my coach in about 2.5 years. Everything just felt really comfortable. It felt like something good was going to happen. It's the home of golf. It's the home of the Open. The stuff you feel around there is unlike any other place. The golf course was set up in a way where I was able to play a very smart, kind of logical approach to it. I was so amped up and so nervous at the same time. I'd never felt anything like that. I'd been seeing the ball go in. I'd been putting so well that day. I knew if I could get it somewhere on the putting surface, it'd have a really good chance of going in. I think that will be the biggest tournament I'll ever be a part of. It's unreal and something definitely I'll never ever forget.
It was a memorable final round. Little question of that. What's ahead of Cameron Smith out there today?
We head up to the first green. Sander Schauffele, it was a great drive. It was a poor second shot to here.
Well, well. We talk about bonus birdies.
It's a nice one from long range there for Sander Schauffele. A couple of groups ahead. Out with Harrington is Scott Stallings.
Down that slope, break into the left, and maybe a little unconventional birdie at the 5th from 30 feet, but a birdie nonetheless.
It'll work, which is all you need out there today. You're going to have to roll their sleeves up, the waterproof sleeves, get it done. especially those in the chasing pack, are watching out there already today, because that is the leaderboard. And Brian Harmon, the world number 26, on top through 36 here in the 151st edition, coming your way from Royal Liverpool. Scroll through the pages. Nice story of Michael Stewart, who's inside the top 11 there as well. Won everything in Scotland as an amateur. Very good talent. As we go down to Adam Scott.
Had a horrible lie in the right rough. Was able to just get it about 30 yards short of the green. That's for his par. And neither of these guys right now on the greens are doing much of anything. It's been a struggle.
The longest putt made between the two of them is that little 2-footer at the third by Adam Scott.
We've got 126 on the right. So 140 front. Yep. And we're looking coming down. I'm looking at. Yeah,
Well, this one is sitting up nicely for Cam Smith. Shouldn't cause too many problems then. Straight down the flag. Just didn't quite get the jumper that he wanted.
You see the tee shots there of Matthew Fitzpatrick off the first tee. A couple little wild ones to start his round 1 and 2. Not the third. Absolutely perfect. Right side of the fairway, left front pin position. I think he'll try to maybe take this on. Move it in from a little right to left. Well, that's an easy putt. We just saw Xander Schauffele make the same one.
Yeah, that's how it works. The highest ranked Englishman in the world, world number 9. He too grew up not far from here. About a 2-hour drive over to Scheffler at 7.
Well, one's going to go in eventually. Every single one touches the lip. It's like, it's not bad putts. It's just not reading them right.
A little wide right here at the 8th for Ricky. Got scored to the right. It looked like he was disgusted with it, but turned out okay.
Second hole. Xander Schauffele coming out of the rough. This is a tough hole today. Rain's starting to come down again.
Caught the backside of that bunker and really shot through the green.
.6'8". Look at the length of those arms. You get some speed with that, can't you?
He drove it so far down there, Tom, he had a short iron into the green and it could actually spin the ball.
It's a fair point, John. Find out if that was his second or third. Might have had a little bit of trouble off the tee. We're hearing he did, yep. Yeah, otherwise that was just unthinkable, wasn't it?
Well, if he actually caught a drive, maybe. But
back to the first, Cameron Smith. Just off the front edge.
Yeah, good pace from Cam Smith there on the first.
Ricky was a little bit wide left at the 8th. Pitch to here. Keep a pretty good round going. These are important putts. He seems so confident. A confident looking stroke.
And he's got the confidence back. Fowler, that goes in for par for Cameron Smith. His results didn't really show it. He was top 5 in 2019 at the halfway mark, and then top 10 with 18 to go at Royal St George's, Cameron Smith. So it wasn't always reflected at the end of the week, but he had contended a number of times before he got across the line at St Andrews. Fitzpatrick's turn now.
Across the green. He might have had that on line and come back to the left a little at the end. But should be no stress here for Matthew to make par there at the first. Get 2 opening pars for the Smith-Fitzpatrick group.
I wonder what choice Mum and Dad Fitzpatrick is making today. Which one are they going with?
Have they split up?
I was going to say split it up.
Divide and conquer.
I think they should go with Alex. They see enough of Matt.
Chance for Harrington here at the 6th. Tracking. Never missing.
Talk about bonus birdies on days like this. A bonus birdie there at the 6th.
Nice look at it here for Scotty Scheffler on the 8th. Just started in the middle of the green and cut it back towards that flag. Yeah, baby. That's why I'm world number 1.
Just peppered it. Got the little assist off the edge of the bunker as well. It's going to be a surefire birdie for Scotty Scheffler, his 2nd of the day coming next.
Well, Adam Scott, can you follow him in? He hit some really lovely iron shots today and some pretty poor ones. Not much in between. Back to the 2nd tee, Cam Smith. 3 wood off the tee, just stays short of the bunkers down the right-hand side. That should be about where he wanted to go.
Come still, please. Thank you.
This is such a good move. I I've always liked this golfing from the day he came on. I thought, yeah, it just looks such in control.
Pull it!
Fitzpatrick turning one over. Now it's down to the lie.
So John Rahm warming up, going through his paces, his drills. He's out with Sung Jae In in a little over 40 minutes time, worth sticking around for. Delighted to say we've been joined by Dale Hayes, with Thomas and myself, Ali Whitaker, in the commentary box. Morning to you, Hazy.
Good morning. Probably not such a good morning. A little bit of rain out there, and it's going to make it very important for these players to keep the ball on the fairway. I think as that longer grass gets more wet, it's going to become more and more difficult to play out of.
That should be a par for Lamprecht, so he's 1 under for the day. Stark contrast to yesterday's round. Go to 7, Koepka.
Yeah, he's hit some poor iron shots, Brooks, today, and just kind of fighting it a little bit. That's a good effort from there, though.
Ricky Fowler for his birdie at the par 3. Looks like he's expecting it to turn from his right.
It's nice to see you, Dale. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
When was your last black and white Open you played in?
You didn't expect to see me alive, did you? Well, the first time I played on this golf course was way back in 1969 as a 16-year-old amateur in the British Amateur Championship.
How'd that go?
Got the semi-final.
Ah.
Got beaten in the semi-final by Bill Heinemann, who was eventually beaten by the great Sir Michael Benellic in the final, who won in 1969 and 1970. Wonderful amateur golfer.
Adam Scott would have made some trips over here in his amateur days. Spent a lot of his early career on the European Tour, as it was called back then. To the second, Shuffley.
Yeah, he caught that big bounce off the back of the bunker there, and that's an excellent shot from where he was. He would have been surprised when he got up there to see that it made it that far over the green.
Now, 6'8", Christa Lamprecht. Wow. What did that hit? Did it just take the slope? Didn't actually see what happened there, but it's finished off very well.
Yeah, I think it did hit the sideboard. These are the shot shapes, much higher for Cameron Smith by about 20 feet. It was a little low and left for Fitzpatrick.
It was a lot higher and a lot better. That's the way I would look at that.
Looks like it might be a driving iron.
Yeah. I think the other one's like too hard. I don't think it's going to get there.
Okay. Fly 74 is ideal.
Yep.
Okay, and like on those windows up mine, liquid. That's slightly to the left of pin too, mate.
199 yards. I'll just try and thread it between those two bunkers.
Misses the bunker, but there is a lot of elevation change on that one coming up.
His head doesn't move even a millimeter, does it? Wow, his head stays still throughout the whole swing. All depends on the lie. That doesn't look too bad.
There's a little bit green around it. A little discussion with a very experienced caddy, Billy Foster, there about what to do.
And their input on lies in particular is just priceless, isn't it? Reading what the lie does, what's ahead, what it'll affect.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a caddy that has an extra pair of eyes on that understand what the ball is going to do. I think he was worried about, he was so green around the ball that he didn't really know how he was going to go through the grass, and this has come up short, and it's just one of those, it was a difficult one to read. It was kind of different grass and stuff as well.
A couple of major champions alongside each other, Louis Oosthuizen and Patrick Reed out there today.
Now got a new plaything, a new farm in Orlando, or in Ocala, excuse me, in Ocala, new little horse farm.
Didn't strike the ball particularly well out there yesterday, only hit 7 of 18 greens, had a bit of a tough start on the front 9 as well. 3 over through the front 9 for Patrick Reed. Good luck for that to change. Ooh, little helping hand there, Thomas.
Now it's brilliant.
Clean living, that.
So off they go. No umbrellas out right now. It has stopped raining for a little while. Slight reprieve to 9, Scheffler.
I'm always so interested in his foot movement. It's quite incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in professional golf.
No, Greg Norman had a bit of that right swipe with his foot as well, especially with the driver, but not to the extent of Scotty Scheffler. But there's some future in it, obviously, the way he hits the ball.
He looked at the first day, he was almost going to trip over his feet a couple of times. Schauffele got the benefit of being exactly where the people have been standing, so not a bad lie at all. Now this man has actually played 2 really good rounds of golf, barring 1 hole. Drop, oh dear.
To the second, short of the green. Fitzpatrick's third. Nice touch.
Beautiful strike. The ball, and then just a second later into the grass.
Technology's come a long way since the first Open was broadcast in 1955.
Why are you looking at me? Thomas Bjorn is easily as old as I am. He actually looks older.
You're within arm's reach, Hazy.
I know.
I'm
going to get a backhand soon.
You're a daring man. A little between the hole from where he is for Cam Smith at the second.
Looks like he's going to try and bump this into the hill and just one bounce up on the green and release down to the hole. There you go. That's how you do it.
Such a tidy game really, Cameron Smith. Does so much for Australian golf as well. He won the PGA when he came back in Brisbane, not far from where he grew up. Birdie chance here for Lamprecht.
Good putt.
It sounds better when Dale says Lamprecht than you, Ali. I don't know why.
You know,
I agree.
He plays at a golf course. It's quite amazing. He plays in a place called Mossel Bay, which is near where Louis comes from. In fact, he was in the Louis Oosthuizen Foundation. And the golf course he plays is very narrow, which is quite incredible. The distance he hits the ball, that he would actually learn to hit the ball that far on a golf course like that.
DeChambeau finds the green at the third to 9. Scheffler. Nice shot in.
Let's see if we can find a hole for once. Now this one's nowhere near. Nowhere near at the moment for Scotty Scheffler on the greens. He's finding it extremely frustrating this week.
For his par. It's a beautiful up and down for Matt Fitzpatrick.
Looks like they both might do exactly that here at the second. Cam Smith also has the Cameron Smith Scholarship. He's had it for a number of years. He actually started it before he was making that much money. It should be said. He was very quick to do it, following the footsteps of Kari Webb. Now invites 2 young players who win it over to mirror him at the major championships. It is priceless, the opportunities he gives.
It is. It's brilliant, isn't it? And, you know, professional golfers have been wonderful in doing those kind of things. So many of them do that.
So that's how it looks at the moment. And like we said earlier, will for some time. Min-Woo Lee, the only guy in the field to be top 10 through 36 in all of the majors so far this year. As we roll through some of the pages as well, Stuart Sink and Henrik Stenson, both there at -1, as is the US Open champion in Wyndham Clark. Richard Bland, Laurie Cantor, both inside the top 11 in front of their home crowds.
This is Cantley. He's changed the hat now. He's got a normal baseball cap on. This is for birdie on 8. Oh, yes.
Doesn't smile often, does he?
It's normal, that. You should hold those things.
Third hole, which for the members plays as the first, out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side. So just a little mound, and it's very, very close. And he's going to try and slide it down the left-hand side of this fairway.
It's not a bad idea as the first hole. You get 2 out of bounds, Dale, and then you can walk straight into the bar.
There you can see just how close it is. You can see that white stake there on the right-hand side.
No harm, no foul for either of those 2 players right in front of the clubhouse. There's the putting green on the right as well in the distance.
Up on the green on 3. Well, he holed one pretty much from this distance on the first. tracking. Tiny little bit of work to be done there for Sander Schauffele to make par.
Patrick Reed, after a fortunate bounce off his tee shot, it just looks like a very lofted club for his second. Done at the first, it's front left of the green, and that is a beauty. Stay there. Terrific shot.
Ryan Fox on 6. So the flag's in the middle of the green here. You can camper it off the right-hand side if you want. That's a lovely shot. That's just, we've seen that pretty much for the last 2 years, Ryan Fox playing golf like that.
Well, Louis Oosthuizen for his birdie at the very first hole. This would be a great way to start. Open champion in 2010 at St Andrews.
From one Open champion to another, a double one. This is on the 7th Harrington. A lot of people get credit for short game. I'm telling you, I played with this guy for 30 years. There is no one better out there.
He's been helping Leona Maguire, in fact, winner on the LPGA, Solheim Cup player with hers. So go back to Reed. Can he find an opening birdie? Yes. Just.
Patrick Cantley. The par 3. Also lovely, beautiful tee shot. Wow. Could be 2 birdies in a row.
All right, Foxy. Ryan Fox on 6. And can you take advantage? That's excellent. Beautiful stroke. And he takes him to 1 under for the day. It's a good start to his round.
Great to see young and old. They're clever. Bring the toys out. Yeah, push it. Push the big one. He's having a blast.
Yeah, in between the 2 big summers.
I saw the footage of Matthew Jordan. He wasn't much older than that young girl when he started playing golf here at Royal Liverpool.
Well, this second shot is also a tester. It's 194 yards. Fortunately, he's going to be going for the centre of the green. You don't want that pin on the right, then it becomes really difficult.
Safely board, a long way from it. This is a golf zone. It's huge, in fact. Got the HSBC UK clubhouse over there. It's quite the spectacle, all the hospitality now.
It's quite incredible all the different things you can do if you come to the Open Championship with all these marquees, and they all offer different little events or little challenges that you can take part in.
I'm sure, Thomas, you might have had to be a part of something. They always want to speak to Thomas Bjorn.
I've been around a few hospitality units this week. It's been good fun. There's a lot of great conversation happening as we watch Cam Smith coming into the 3rd. I fancy him to take that aim as this.
Beautiful balance. Oh, great result.
Good call. Perhaps something coming next there at the 3rd as well for Cameron Smith for birdie. Had to give back the claret jug earlier this week. Got a little emotional. Even Cameron Smith does that. Said he wanted it straight back. Might not happen this week unless he gets a wriggle on.
And that was Cantley for his second birdie in a row. That slides by.
Mr. Lamprecht, his second shot at the 7th. And off the fairway for a change. See, I've got the Afrikaans in there a little bit. Did you notice that? I remember at the Open Championship at St Andrews, they called me in to try and help him pronounce Louis Oosthuizen. They were calling Westhuizen and all sorts of funny names.
Yeah, it's always fun on the first tee, isn't it? Well, who knows, maybe in 10 years' time we'll all know how to say Christo's last name just like you, Dale. It's been a good showing from Shubhankar Sharma, as well, who's at -3. Cameron Young has worked his way back into the picture like he did 12 months ago. Look at the flags rolling through as well. Such an international game. Denmark, France, England, Sweden, Korea, Norway, Japan and Germany. Not to mention the US.
Don't leave out Denmark, please.
I thought I started with Denmark.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Well,
good.
I'm just watching this right there. It nearly came out the pocket.
Trust me, I would have kicked under the table.
And it would have been fair. Abraham Answer, who has racked up a couple of wins all around the world himself, the Mexican. He's at 1 over par. Joost Loughton's been trending in the right direction as well the last month or two. Steady player, isn't he, from the Netherlands? There is the aforementioned Alex Fitzpatrick, younger brother of Matt. But there's just stories on every page of this leaderboard. Scotty Scheffler did well to make the cut. Had to birdie the last from the front right trap. Let's go down to 3 with Fitzpatrick. Matt.
Yeah, this is from a long way away. 56 feet. Slightly, well, it's pretty flat, the screen, to be honest. There's not much. There might be a little bit of a downhill here, but it's not much. You're only really looking to two-putt it. That's excellent pace from Fitzpatrick. I find him one of the best distance putters in the game. I mean, he's one of the best putters in the game from distance. He's puts beautiful.
Now, Christo Lamprecht for his birdie at the 7th to get to just 1 over. Keep going, keep going. You see, he uses a long putter as a normal putter.
Look at the grandstands all around the third. I dare say they might go a little further right with the pin position in the final round. First half of it is actually out of bounds, the seats on the right. Haven't seen that done before. Great shot in for Cameron Smith.
It's time to take advantage of it. Might have a little right to left in it, inside right maybe. That's a stroke. Every kid around the world, if you want to watch a putting stroke from short distance, that's the one.
I think you can actually emulate everything he does. You know, from the time he sets up the golf ball to the way he manages his way around and the way he behaves and everything.
Good birdie for Cam Smith. Nice 2-putt for Matt Fitzpatrick.
Scheffler on 4. He's pulled a nice lie here. Should cause him too much problem with the grass around the ball. Almost throw it all the way down there. A little bit of spin. And that's okay.
Back at the second hole with Patrick Reed. Pitching wedge, maybe a 9-iron. Lovely. Great chance for a second birdie to start off his day.
So the rain has stopped for now. Wind's still a factor. It has switched more out of the southeast. It's been out of the west for most of the week. So a good 110 degree switch.
I don't know how you can play golf and concentrate on your game with these boats going up and down and up and down.
Some big boats. I'm not sure where some of you are watching. It's 5 o'clock. And to Cameron Smith, iron at the 4th.
Swinging nice today, Cam Smith, he really is.
Puts that left hand on the club first, then grips it with his right hand. Quite a strong left hand grip. Very brisk golf swing. Probably makes more notes on the way around a golf course than any player in the history of the game.
Yeah, he really is into his statistics. He knows every shot he's hit. He knows where it's gone, what it's done, and he studies the game. And you know, he's one of these players, you meet him in the players' lounge, he's never really got time to sit and have a chat because he's always busy doing something, writing something down, and he takes it very seriously, Matt Fitzpatrick. And his brother is pretty much the opposite, you know, very natural, very just goes on the range, hits a few balls and enjoys his time. So they are very different in that kind of way, but hugely talented, both of them.
Nature versus nurture, perhaps. Down to the second. Patrick Reed for birdie.
I think it's first child versus second child, probably more.
Calls it in. What a start. Birdie at 1, birdie at 2. And just like that, Patrick Reed's back inside the top 25.
Scheffler at the 10th, and this is for a bogey. So one dropped to 5 over par. At least he made a putt, though. He's been struggling to get them in.
So dropped shots from both of them there at the 10th, he and Adam Scott. Chance to get one back for McIntyre.
Yeah, he does well there, Bob McIntyre, and that's his first birdie of the day. He started bogey, and it's all been par since then. But maybe on the back 9 he's going to pick it up.
Playing out in the first group today, one ahead of Scheffler and Adam Scott. He's out with Ricky Fowler, Robert McIntyre. First birdie, long time coming. There'll be plenty of them today, especially from that front page of the leaderboard. You'd think. Emiliano Grillo at -2, trying to emulate the success of Robert Di Vincenzo, who won here around Royal Liverpool. First South American to win the Open title. Jordan Spieth's done it. He's on the same score, 2 under par. Out to Schauffele.
Sander Schauffele for his birdie at the 4th. Oh, excellent try. Golf course is in such good condition. Probably a lot greener and a lot softer than the R&A would have liked. But it really is. It's pristine, isn't it?
James Bledge and the Lynx manager here and all his team They've done a brilliant job with what you're given by Mother Nature. They had a very dry lead up, and then the last 3 weeks have been wet. You'd almost rather it be the other way round, so you had a little bit more control with how the course was playing. Okay, the ball placements of Fitzpatrick and Cameron Smith.
Yeah, this is, keep saying this is an easy pin to be aggressive with, especially when it's softened up a little bit. You can throw it all the way back there. He's unhappy with this. Normally when Fitzpatrick is unhappy with his golf swing, they go left.
So this is the pairing of Brandon Robinson-Thompson, who hails from the Isle of Wight, and Tyrrell Hatton out in this 2-ball.
We'll have to come up with a shorter name for him at some stage as his career moves on, Ali.
BRT. He's loving it.
On the tee, from England, Tyrrell Hatton.
He's Mr. All or Nothing, really, isn't he? And his open appearances kind of reflect that. Loads of miscuts, but a top 5, 11th last time round at St Andrews. Nice way to start.
Robinson-Thompson there, one of the players who had to go through the qualifying. And, I mean, that is really rigorous. You know, they start with regional qualifying, then final qualifying, and eventually 19 players got through that. And there are 8 of them that have got through to the final 2 rounds.
Cam Smith on 4. He's turning that. This is left of the green. Yeah, go right down next to Fitzpatrick. At least you'll get a little bit of an idea from Fitzpatrick how to play the next one.
And that's going to be very different the way the two of them play it. You've got Fitzpatrick who grips the other way around with these chip shots. And this man who does everything very conventionally.
I hope they're not all busy watching the Women's World Cup football in New Zealand and still watching Ryan Fox.
Maybe one of each. You've got 2 screens. Being played in New Zealand and Australia, isn't it? The World Cup at the moment. So just the par.
Long birdie putt here from Harrington for his birdie to get back to 2 over on the par 3. He's amazing the way he continues to be competitive, and he continues to have the desire to want to play.
There you go, Dale. And there's that cross-handed pitching action of Fitzpatrick. He really is starting to look like a great pitcher that way. That's a good shot from where he was.
Patrick Cantley for his birdie at the par 4 10th. And that's looking really good. Beautiful putt. Let's check out if there's going to be a little smile. Come on.
He's a delightful guy, though. Walked 9 holes with he and Xander Schauffele on Tuesday.
Here's the more conventional way of doing it. feet on the green. Yeah, pretty good.
Where are they headed? That's the River Dee. There's an island out there called Higlight, and I had heard that, look at that, yeah, when the tide is low that you can actually walk out there, but I've never seen it.
But how do you get back? Well, I can get my wife to swim back. She's good at that.
It's like a family of ants heading out there.
I remember the first time I played here, Thomas. I had a full set of waterproofs on, playing a practice round. And I looked out onto the beach here, and there was a guy swimming in his bathing costume. I couldn't believe it. I thought, right there and then, I better get used to playing golf in the cold if I want to play golf in Europe.
I'm mostly surprised that he can remember that far back.
For par, Fitzpatrick knocks it in at the fourth. 4 consecutive pars for him.
There you go with the notes, as we were saying. Writes down everything.
See the earpieces. Got open radio again, so you can walk around and listen to some very high quality commentary. They've got on courses as well. It's worth getting one of those, especially if you want to tune out the person you're walking with.
Yeah, just a little bit of a tester here for Cam Smith. Yeah, he took a long time about this. He wasn't certain about the line, that's for sure. And that's a big mistake from where he was in the fairway.
I think in the end, the way he hit that putt looked like he was just decided to sort of bash it in straight. Pulled it a touch. He's very nearly as far past as he was to start with.
Shame. The one that was hard earned at the third, the birdie, given straight back there by Cameron Smith, who's level for the day.
Well, Ricky Fowler is well into the back nine now. And this is on 12. This was a tough stretch of holes the first 2 days, but the wind is, well, there's hardly any wind out there, but the wind is a little bit different as well. So it'll be way shorter, 12, 13, 14. Should be a little bit of an easier stretch of holes than it's been the first 2 days.
It'll be more downwind than off the left. That's the switch.
John Rahm. Just checking if there are any good luck wishes on his way to the tee.
Like literally walk on the tee. Because I hear it here.
Pretty fancy golf bag.
Yeah, it's a tribute to the music scene in Liverpool, which is quite a cool golf bag when you get up and close to it.
Of course, the home and where the Beatles all started. In fact, the hotel that we're staying at, the Cavern, which is where they started playing, is just around the corner. Not far away at all. And they play Beatles music there all day, evidently.
As they should. Higlight with the company of Sun JM.
30 seconds,
Had a little change in announcer on the first tee, and it's Matt Corker teeing players off for the next little while. First tee time out at 8:55 a.m. Last will be Tommy Fleetwood and Brian Harmon at 3:30 in the afternoon. Wouldn't have it any other way at the Open.
This is game number 15. On the tee, from Spain, John Rahm.
He was frustrated the first 2 days, John Rahm. I fancy him for all-out attack for the next 2 days.
So close.
Looks like it went up onto that upslope with that little mound, so he might be okay if he's lying all right.
Quiet, please.
On the tee, from Korea, Sunjae M.
He's got a very good record at the Masters, in fact. He tied for second last year. He's contended 3 or 4 times. He was the PGA Tour Rookie of the Year as well. Still just 25. Yet to get his eye in for links golf, perhaps this weekend. Oh, he's not going to like that, actually. I just caught the bunker. That was my fault. So they're off. Out with the world number 3 today.
Well, it's you know, such a strong action. I mean, you can't say that it's a conventional golf swing, but it's a very efficient and strong golf swing. Head up to the 5th green, where Sami Välimäki is putting for birdie. Danny Willett, his playing partner's already in for birdie on that hole. Well, he's not, is he?
Very nearly. In close. They've had identical scorecards. So far up to 12. This for the 3rd birdie of the day for Ricky Fowler, who's blemish free. Takes another stride forward.
Yeah, now he's level par for the tournament. Pick up a 2 or 3 more, and all of a sudden you're in with might be in with a chance tomorrow.
Second shot for Xander Schauffele at the par 5.
Right! Right! Right!
Yeah, that's a long way right there. That's a poor one from Schauffele. You want to miss it right if you're going to miss it, but you don't want to miss it that far right.
They've made it. What do you do? Yeah. Well, I hope you've got some blankets, maybe a picnic. Otherwise you just turn around. But they can say they've done it.
I'll have to say that's the most British thing I've ever heard, if you're going to have a picnic out there today.
I'm the optimist, Thomas. 2-5. Just the iron for Cameron Smith. Another fairway finder. As we jump up to 11, Adam Scott, trying to bounce back after the drop shot at the 10th, which he does. So he is back to level par for the round. 2 bogeys, 2 birdies. But it is an all-star cast, being led by the world number 26. Perhaps a little bit of a surprise packet, but he has had good form. So a 2nd, 9th and a 12th in recent history. The last few months, Brian Harman. Loads of major champions on that leaderboard there, as well as Rory McIlroy, who was victorious here at 2014. Back out to the course with Hoshino at the 2nd. Pure birdie chance coming up. So Aaron Oberholzer has been a busy man out there today and has joined the group of Sung Jae Im and John Rahm.
I'm just happy it stopped raining, Ali.
We're happy for you.
It's actually quite pleasant right now. Sung Jae Im unfortunately did find that pot bunker, and as we've seen all week, these pot bunkers are a severe penalty. Half shot to, in some cases, a full shot. So this his 3rd. Good angle, though, coming in from this right side to this left flag. Wind off the left.
Yeah, Aaron, you got to guard against going left here. Can make
safely out to the right.
Short kick just on the green.
Now Rahm's lie is pretty good on the upslope, decent. He's going to have to get down after it though.
Yeah, he can only shoot this to the center of the green to the right.
Terrible angle and short-sided to the wind with this flag. Wind off the left, flag on the left.
He's got the club choked almost down to the steel, trying to punch something up the middle of the green.
Oh, that is excellent.
Easy. There's a little bit of a dip right there, but on the putting surface, really nice shot there from John Rahm. Grip all the way down the bottom of the grip. Ball on that upslope and just digs it out of that turf. Hoists it way up in the air.
We saw the 2nd. This hopefully the last for Hoshino. And it is a birdie at 2. Little change up coming in the commentary box. Got John Cook, Andrew Beef Johnston, and in a few moments' time, it's Tom Abbott.
Hello, hello. Hello there, Andrew. Xander wide right with his 2nd at the 5th. Off some bare dirt. Catch has to be perfect. Will it run out? Have an uphill try there. Patrick Cantley now. A nice round of golf going early today.
Now we'll go over to the first check-in with John Rahm. And what are you expecting from him today, Aaron?
Well, I'm expecting some changes in the ball striking, I would hope, although we didn't see that off the first tee. It was a nice recovery on the 2nd, but the ball striking has been the issue the first couple of days, hitting less than 50% of the greens, Tom, so he's not giving himself a whole lot of opportunities. And he's only played the par 5s at even through the first 2 rounds, and we know he can get to all 3 of these par 5s in 2. So a little bit better par 5 play and give himself more chances.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration on John Rahm the first couple of days, just a little out of sorts, you know, a lot of movement, just a little impatient. But let's see what he can do this weekend, because you know, and he's got firepower, and I see him coming out and just fire pirate pins.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got everything he needs to turn this thing around, shoot 4, 5, 6 under par today, and get right back in this thing. It's beautiful right now as far as the conditions are concerned. There's hardly a breath of wind, maybe 5 to 10 tops. Temperature's nice. And no rain.
Oh, you've said it now.
Get the brelly out. Well, he saw a lot of that too the first 2 days, where right around making a lot of putts and didn't make any.
Had his first experience with links golf at Royal Cinque Ports. He went and played there before the British boys, the boys amateur, in 2009 at Sandwich, Royal St George's. He's a great scholar of the game, is John Rahm. I'd love to follow in the footsteps of Savvy and win this championship. This was pretty close here. Beef?
Oh, you could see by his reaction, the smile, and it's been like that the first 2 days, and I think what goes through your head there is it's not going to happen again for a third day, is it?
Sungjae just trying to limit the damage here after finding that pot on the left-hand side. Across the screen. Have to take your medicine on these when you hit it in these pot bunkers.
Yeah, exactly. And don't ever want to come away with more than bogey.
Alexander Schauffele for a birdie at the 5th.
Wide right with his second, the par 5. Pitch to here, now birdie up the slope. Hit it. Just ran out of steam.
Reed, second at 4.
Nearly got it there. Didn't need much more.
Nice drive at the 5th for Fitzpatrick.
10 protected by the little left pot bunker. Ideally, just shoot it up the center of the green. Something a little bit like that.
Let's go ahead to the second pairing out today. Adam Scott and Scotty Scheffler. This is Adam's second to the 12th.
Yeah, that's quite a good pin to get to today, and he's shown exactly that.
Back over to Cam Smith, second at the 5th. Trying to work it towards the flag here, B.
I don't think you can get it too close. I think it's one where you saw Fitzy hit it in the middle of the green at the front edge, and that's a good play there. If you try and turn it too much and get too cute and you miss it left, you're going to be in a bit of a pickle.
No, it's actually, yeah, it's definitely a cut.
Go back to the tee and the second.
And when I was with the Scheffler-Scott twosome earlier, they had drivers. It looks like John's got the driver as well, Tom. Just trying to avoid that bunker, Scott, and Scheffler couldn't even get to that first pot on the right, as this wind is switched to the southeast and into and off the right.
See the 2 tee balls of John Rahm the first 2 rounds. Iron off the tee the first round in the right rough, but to a perfect lie. Second round in the fairway. Imagine he's going to be fairly aggressive today and hit as many drivers as he possibly can.
This one up the left side, John, needs a bounce. I think he got a bad bounce.
Good swing though.
Fine. In the fairway, left-hand side. Perfect.
Perfect.
Stand still, please. Stand still, please. Thank you.
How about this action, Beef?
God, I'd love to have it. I mean, the face is just for him.
Him.
Also with the driver. One of the most reliable ball strikers on the PGA Tour. This one up the right-hand side, just left of that pot bunker on the right. Should be perfect.
Fairway found.
We're counting down to the final pairing getting underway at 3:30 local time. It's coming up to 11:40 here in Hoylake. Brian Harman and Tommy Fleetwood will head out. Harman with a 5-shot lead heading into the weekend. Well, he missed it right, but still not an easy one here, Beef.
No, he's missed it in the right spot. He's got the green to work with. Again, it's just one he's going to pop out over the trap and let it release up. To be honest, I thought that stopped quicker than was probably expected there. It's still a good shot.
Patrick Reed, in some respects, trying to get it back to that flag, but he was fortunate to get over the bunkers there.
Yeah, and the greens are a lot more receptive, especially if you drive it in the fairway. And you see balls actually hitting and holding and actually spinning sometimes today. So there's an adjustment the players are going to have to make. Get that putter in his hands from anywhere on the green. It's makeable for Patrick Reed.
It's an eagle putt here for Fitzpatrick at the 5th.
That was going to be a slow putt up that slope, and there's a little bit of a shoulder right there.
Ricky Fowler off in the first pairing today with Bob McIntyre. This for birdie at 13. He's putting together a nice round today.
Yeah, very good round. You know, if he can pick a couple birdies up coming in, he'll be sitting quite nice, depending how this weather's going to play out this afternoon.
Now the birdie to get up and down here for Cam Smith.
After that pitch shot from the right rough, I would imagine this is just wasting daylight right here. This is doesn't miss many of those. It's gonna be a frustrating par after a good tee shot.
This is Patrick Cantley, a player you know well, John.
Yeah, I've known him since he was about 15 years old. Spent a lot of time with him in Southern Cal, the Jamie Mulligan kind of crew, and he would like to have that one for his 3rd in a row. Another good round of golf going. 3 birdies on the day, no bogeys.
And the second, the drives of Rahm and Im to the 300-yard mark off the tee.
And both these boys have found the fairway pretty well here. Slightly different angles, 154 and 155 for them each. Im's going to be a little bit more crosswind, where Rahm is going to be a little bit more into the wind and a little bit better visual, I'd say, from the left-hand side of this fairway, even though it's not the widest fairway in the world.
Okay, neither one then, right?
Just changing bats for Sungjae. Right in between two, evidently. He must feel a little bit more across than hurt.
Looking up and down the flagstick.
He does that a lot.
That was all over it.
Anytime those eyes are going up and down the flagstick, Beef, you know that you're pretty happy with that one. A good strike on line. Let's see where it lands.
Now Rahm.
This has got just to be a perfect 9-iron for Jon Rahm. A little bit more back into the breeze than Sungjae. little lower flighted. Just left of it.
But to your point a little earlier, Beef, the green's receptive today with that rain overnight.
Yeah, definitely. You can fire it up at the back flags, and it's going to stick. When it gets firm, you're worried about if you hit it too far, it hops over the back, and that's not going to happen too much today.
Wow. Caught a lot of hole there. For
Beef, nothing makes you more angry as a professional on any level than 3-putt pars.
100%. It drives you nuts.
Schauffele for birdie at 6.
Good tee shot on the tough 6th hole to par 3. 196 yards today. Just come away with par, and it's a happy walk to the 7th tee.
Looking out towards North Wales there in the very back of the picture, and if you keep going in a westerly direction, you pretty much get to Dublin, there or thereabouts, on the east side of the Republic of Ireland. It looks very calm out there, doesn't it? It looks beautiful.
Looks like you can almost walk to Wales right now, couldn't you?
You could try it, Cookie.
Wouldn't get very far.
You might not get very far. Are you playing next week down in the...
I am not playing this year.
No, I need to walk down.
Yeah, I got too many 6s in my age group, so I'm going to pass. I did play there though a few years ago and enjoyed it. The wind blew.
Senior Open next week at Royal Fourth Course. Chandler knocking that in. Over to the second with this pairing of John Rahm and Sung Jae Im.
Your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what Rahm does here. He's got it pointed outside the right. I think early on it'll kind of quick go to the left. Or late. Yeah, just like you said, it's just a little confusing as your feet feel one thing, your eyes see something else.
2 pars to start the day for the Masters champion. And Ricky Fowler for a birdie at the 14th. He started the day 13 shots back of the lead, the largest comeback after 36 holes in the Open. 13 shots. That was in 1920. George Duncan.
I didn't see that one. That was just before my time.
Just a few years before your time, Cookie. Fitzpatrick off the tee at 6.
Nice kick off that right slope.
Sung Jae Im, better look here.
Yeah, it should be a bit more straightforward. I don't think he's going to have to contend with the slopes that John Rahm did. Should break a little bit left. There we go. Definitely a bit more straightforward. It's still got to knock it in.
So bogey birdie start for Sung Jae Im here on Saturday at Royal Liverpool. Back over to the tee at number 6, and the defending champion Cam Smith.
Opportunity missed back there at the par 5 5th. See what kind of tee shot he can hit here at the 6th. Center of the green good here. Any point in time, and he gets a fortunate roll off the slope. He did.
Love that move there on the way down. Look at that position there.
So stable.
Always tell when you watch someone and his balance is so good as well. You know, always, you never see him wobbling over too much. He's always holding that pose.
Well, it's one of the most unique holes in the Open rotation, the third hole here with the out of bounds down the right and clubhouse on the left side. It's the first hole if you come here to play on a regular day at Royal Liverpool. Sung Jae Im on the tee.
Just trying to hit it to the corner of that little elbow that moves to the right, and you don't want it there. Don't want the net left rough, as some of the luscious on the golf course. Be very fortunate to have a lie over there. And I thought that John Rahm might take out driver here.
When I had a look at this hole earlier this week, and I looked and I thought people pulling driver, if I was personally playing, I just could not see driver there. Every time it just said to me, 2 wide.
That's correct. You got it, my man.
No, sit. Get a good bounce.
Well, up the right-hand side opens up the hole location today, so might have been a tiny mishit on his part, but it's a good position.
He was a little concerned about the out of bounds there, I think.
Any ball going to the right, yeah, it might take a peek.
Second at the 7th for Xander Schauffele.
Don't think that first cut will hinder him too much there, Beef. Back left 10, plenty of room.
No, I just want to be trying to draw that, land it over the traps. Again, that's going to be the miss, and you'll probably see that a lot today.
A little wide right miss there for Xander. He has done that a couple times so far this third round.
Now Cantley for a birdie at the 13th.
Back of the green, front right pin. Good pacing there for Patrick.
Now Fitzpatrick at the 6th.
It's one you really want to make, especially after the 3-putt par on the last.
Over at the 8th, Richie Ramsey for a birdie here, trying to battle back to 4 over par. Had a nasty 7 at the 4th today. Birdies at 5 and 8. Nice bounce back over the last few holes, but tough when the round is derailed early like that. Back over to 6 and Cam Smith for a birdie.
Missed a very makeable, about 8-footer at the 5th. Got a good preview off of Matthew Fitzpatrick's putt. Took advantage of that. Nice 2.
It's always one of them when you see it hammer the back of the cup and hop back in like that. Brings a smile to your face, and deep down you know you're saying thank you to the hole there for getting in the way.
Great crowds. Look at that in the background. Out early. It's a good part of the world for sport here, Beef, in England.
Yeah, it really is. Obviously you've got 2 huge football teams right next door, and so many good golf courses in this area as well. It really is. It's a great part of the world for sport.
Now Im will be first to go out of this thick rough on the left side.
Some of the deepest rough on the golf course. See what kind of lie he drew. Just going to try to shoot it up the front of the green. Can't do much more than that. It's to be expected. It's so deep over there. Club head will just turn over. Heel will catch. Hosel will catch.
Straight would be closer to like 170. Yeah. I think we're trying to land this right around 160 to the hole, 160, 165 for gap. Yeah, that's what I like. What's the low I was thinking? Perfect. Yeah. Yes, sir.
You like this angle coming down the right, taking on the out of bounds off the tee for the second shot?
Yes, good angle to come in. As we heard, he's trying to land that in between 160 and 165.
Flew it all the way there. Kept it up right there. Nice hole high. Great opportunity.
And adapting to these softer conditions pretty quickly in the early going with those approach shots.
Yeah, we just haven't seen golf balls hit and hold like that all week. Saw that great strike when he strikes the ball like that. He can just dial in a distance, and that's right where it's going to go. Beautiful high finish. How about the contrasting swings in this pairing here with the slow, very deliberate Sung Jae Im and then the quick tempo of John Rahm.
Good look at the way the golf course kind of snakes around here at Hoylake. It's not all the way out and all the way back in, and that leads to plenty of spots for spectators to watch multiple different holes. Well, let's take a look at the early going here in the third round of the 151st Open, and we'll start with Ricky Fowler when the rain was coming down earlier today. Off to a nice start.
Really taking advantage of these conditions here with the greens being very receptive. You saw that ball just check and hold right there. An excellent shot there from Ricky at the fourth.
Ricky Fowler 3 under for his round. How about Patrick Cantlay? And he came alive around the turn today, Beat.
Yeah, definitely. He made a really good turn. Birdie in 10 and 11 as well. They're not easy holes.
And Patrick Reed for a birdie at the second.
Going down that slope, and good start there for Patrick Reed.
Reed birdieing the first and the second, so he's back to level par for the championship and playing the fifth hole. We'll go to number 3. And this is Sung Jae Im. What's he trying to do here, do you think, Beef?
Well, especially when the greens get a bit of water on them, that first bounce now is going to skid, and sometimes this can really throw you off. So he's got to be wary where he pitches this, because it's going to take a big hop.
He kind of landed in that upslope right there. Took all the steam off that.
Over to the 7th. Schauffele, another player trying to get something going early. Missed the green right here. Oh, this looks pretty tasty.
A wide right miss. Really, one of the strengths of his game is around the greens. He really spends a lot of time hitting lots of different types of shots. That one worked out perfectly. Check out this catch. Beautiful check, release.
Well, we've got players on the golf course, as we showed you a little earlier, making birdies, trying to get themselves back into the mix. And it's a strange leaderboard in a way, because Harman with a 5-shot lead, but if you take him out of the mix, it's very tightly bunched. Adam Scott for birdie.
Adam 1 under par for his round today with some pretty indifferent Adam Scott type shots early on, but he's made the most of some opportunities.
Sung Jae Im trying to save par.
Felt like he hit a good putt there. It's so critical to hit the fairways when the rough was already thick, but once that rain comes in and now it's wet and thick, it makes such a difference.
Patrick Reed having a bit of an adventure here at the par 5 down the left side.
Not what you want for your third shot there, Tom. Left rough. Whole location right over that little pot bunker and out of position. That's what'll happen around.
See if Rahm can make his first birdie of the day.
He's had a lot of putts look just like that first 3 days. Little high line just off the right edge or left edge.
Second to the 7th.
He's trying to draw it into that pin. There. Oh, I'd say that's quite unlucky there. You still expect that's going to hop forward off the back of the bunkers, and that seems to have just pitched in the ridge there in between them.
Now Jon Rahm just to finish up here, so there's going to be 3 pars to start for Jon Rahm, but some chances in the early going for the Spaniard on a day where he needs, or he knows that he needs to start putting something together and get into the mix here. Now at the 7th, second shot for Cam Smith.
Can't see the putting surface in the back left and right at hole high. Good shot.
Here's that swing that you like, Beef.
Yeah, love it. Said he's so good with his irons. Look at that. Lovely follow through. And a good glimpse of that mullet there coming through.
As we go to the 8th and Schauffele.
Just a 3-wood here for Xander. Have to avoid the bunkers on the right. If you do that, you can turn this into a birdie opportunity. I'll just have a short iron in to the 8th.
It's good to have a trademark, isn't it? He's got the mullet, you've got the beard. It works well.
I don't know if they'd work together though.
Back to the tee at the 4th, and Jon Rahm.
Yeah, another hole that's just a layup, but it's more into the wind today. First couple days probably hitting 5 and 6 irons off of this tee. Today, a little longer clubs. Still have to have a game plan when you're laying the ball up.
Straight kick. Straight kick.
The side of this fairway does kick a little to the left.
He was asking for a straight kick there. Down the left side.
Should be okay if it's depending on the lie with that back right hole location.
Wow. Patrick Reed just at the bottom of the little tier in the green at the 5th. There are a few tiers, not massive undulations in these greens, but a few tiers. This for birdie.
Swung just across the hole from right to left.
Christo Lamprecht now the man that was at the top of the leaderboard, tied after day 1. The big story of the day. This for birdie.
Nice comeback birdie there at the 11th for Christo after a bogey at the 10th. After making 3 bogeys in a row, I'm sorry. That's what you're going to get with Christo. You're going to get a lot of ups and downs and a lot of excitement.
Here's Matt's long-range effort for birdie here on 7. Should be a touch left to right. Down the hill.
Now Patrick Cantley at the 14th for birdie.
pin today in that front right. I got offline pretty quick. I have a couple feet left for par. Nothing wrong with pars at the 14th.
We'll see if Cam can start making a run here. Birdie in the last, if he can make another one here.
The greens were a couple of inches quicker this morning on the stimp meter, but there was rain after they'd done that reading, so it's tough to tell whether they're any faster today than they have been over the first couple of days. This is Ricky Fowler now for birdie.
Par 5 playing over 625 yards today.
Now at the 8th, second for Zander.
See that front right pin guarded by that pot bunker, just short of it. Trying to hit a cut in there. Leaves it underneath the hole.
That is with the rain, that's the difference today, where you can try and cut that in and get it close to the pin. If it hadn't rained, you're just looking middle of the green and 20 foot.
Jordan Spieth, the champion of Birkdale, just arriving. He will be starting at 2:45 local time. Starting at 2 under par, 8 shots back, playing alongside Cameron Young. Nice pairing for Spieth today. A couple of American stars going out. Cameron Young, of course, came close to winning last year at St Andrews in that very exciting finish. So until we get to those final pairings going off, at a 1 tee start, as is always the case here at the Open on all 4 days. The first tee time 8:55 this morning local time, McIntyre and Fowler, and the final group out at 3:30 with Tommy Fleetwood and Brian Harman. So going through to a late finish on Saturday at Royal Liverpool. These players trying to get into the mix for tomorrow, and a lot is going to depend on what happens with those later groups, and also what happens with the weather, whether the wind kicks up. The forecast right now called for worse weather than we're seeing, so you never quite know. So difficult to predict right by the water.
No, and if you're out early as well, and all of a sudden it's not raining, you're thinking, if I can come in and put off a score, you never know what the weather's going to do this afternoon, and see if we can have a good round, get in, and hopefully you'll watch the players drop back to you, and you could be in a really good position going into the final round tomorrow.
So this is where John Rahm drove it.
I think you could walk it out here any better than this. Left side of the fairway, right back hole location. I mean, this is for John Rahm. I mean, if you're going to make a run, you got to start here.